Okay, good afternoon again, everyone. I'm writer coach Tony, and I took a break of I think 20 minutes rest before I'm doing the second video. Um, I'm here in Trinoma right now in Coffee Bean because Laureen is reviewing for her exams. So, if you know Trinoma, where the Coffee Bean here looks over the activity center. So anyway, I'm doing a writing tip vlog because I learned that even up to now, one of the schools that Laura is applying to for university is asking her to write a personal essay. So I think, well, 35 years ago, they also asked me to write an essay. And at that time, it was easy for me because I love writing and I love talking about myself. So, this video, I'm going to give you tips on how to write your personal essay for university application. So, this is for an essay about yourself that you're going to submit to the university. Um, yeah, and hopefully with the quality of the essay and the interest you generate with the acceptance committee, um, these tips can help you get to really write your essay. So this for people who have difficulty in starting their essays, especially the personal essay for applying in universities. So anyway, um, I think the first thing you should do is write down your strengths. What are your strongest points? Um, so you can outline that. Maybe choose 3 points which show your assets. And why should the university accept you? So um, write down those traits. Write down those traits so that you can discuss them. Um, and then I think it would be good if you feature one failure because right now universities don't just look at how you um, pursue things, how you achieve things. They also look at how you deal with failure. So look for maybe one difficult experience you had in your life and segue it with the three strong points. No? And then of course talk about your regular stuff, your family, your school life, um, and then I think another important thing you can add is how studying your course can contribute to the country, to the Philippines. So if you're planning to take up mass communication or communication arts or physics or chemistry, um, how will studying in that university help the country? You know, what can you contribute to the country? So that should be maybe in the last part of your essay. So as usual, the most difficult part in any essay is how to start it. No? Usually, since you have to remember that the acceptance committee is going to read like maybe 30,000 essays. So, sukang-suka na sila. They're so, um, they want to puke na if they have to read another essay. So, it's very important that your essay stands out. So, how do you make your essay stand out? It's always better to start with something interesting. If you know how to joke, that can be. In my case, maybe I'll do an anecdote. It can be sad, it can be memorable. What I can do is to make the anecdote more personal. No? Maybe I'll talk about my grandmother, or in my case, I don't remember that the essay I wrote, but if I were to redo my essay now, I would focus on my love for history. And my love for history started with um, getting this history book in the rice bin, the rice granary of my grandfather in Mindanao. So my lolo, my paternal grandfather, Lolo Vic, had a rice granary. And there's a huge room below the house where they store all the grain. So whenever I did not want to play with my cousins and my brothers and sisters, I usually went. I usually hid. Actually, not went. I hid. I hid in this room. It's actually the room is it's not really a room. It's a big space under the house, and there are slits. No, so the air passes through. It's actually very cozy, but it smelled of rice, it smelled of grain, and I found this history book in it, and it's world history. So I was 13 years old then. I read the book. So I was sitting down on the rice granary, and I was reading the book. So that made my first introduction to history. And looking back at my life now, that should have been the course I took in history or political science or English literature because I love reading. But well, anyway, then I'm already 52, so it doesn't matter anymore. Um, so that's how I would start the essay. My love for history started by reading a history book of my lolo in his rice granary where he stored all his rice. No? So nobody bothered me. Every time I'm there, nobody calls me. I think my brothers, and my cousin realized that if I wanted to be there, if I was there, I did not want to play with them. I just wanted to. So why was that experience very important? Because I read about World War II, so I could actually talk to you about World War II. I mean the Europe side and not the Asian side, and recount it chronologically from when the war started, where it started, how Hitler invaded the first few countries in Europe. So that's how impactful that reading that literature is, and it introduced me to the world, um, to history, of how countries were so divisive, the philosophies they were fighting for. In this case, Hitler, well, as you may know, um, had these crazy ideas which were so anti-human because they focus on eradicating one particular race. So, um, that was my introduction. So when I write the essay, I think I could start with that. So you can also apply that in your life. Look for some interesting thing which connects to your course, the course you want to study. It's always important that you focus on the course you want to study because it will show the university why they should admit you into the university, why you are worthy of being trained by the university, by the faculty. So if you can show that to them, I think it would be a big help that would make you stand out from the other applicants. So you start with that essay and then you segue to your strengths. I've always believed that the strengths is important because I'm sure the university, like, actually I'm talking about Ateneo, no? Ateneo de Manila. So Ateneo is always looking for a leader. No? They want somebody who is a leader. They want kasi man for others yung ano nila yung mantra. Because their Saint Ignatius was a man for others. I hope I'm not wrong, but that's what I remember. Saint Ignatius de Loyola. So he was a man for others. So that is how Ateneo is pushing. That's what they want from their students. Students who are men for others. And they instill that philosophy. Because they have philology, they have philosophy. So you will study those. If you do study in Ateneo, you will have to study those. I went to UP and we did not study. So the training in UP is a bit different. We did not have theology. So anyway, so you can focus on your strengths. So it would be help if you have some leadership experience. It would help if you have academic aptitude. So you focus on the subjects you're strong. It can be English, it can be music. Just tell them why you're strong in those subjects. Maybe your dad is good in math, or math interests you. And then I think there should be the third part will be something social, um, like a strength which relates to helping the community, no? Community development. Like um, in my case, my advocacy right now, one of the things I advocate is taking care of stray dogs and stray cats. Kasi in our neighborhood, marami pong mga stray cats, stray dogs. So I see this old woman. She every night she goes around the street we live, and she feeds the cats. So I told my nephew who is 15 years old, I think. Yeah, 15 years old, to take care of to feed the stray dogs. Ay, pasensya na po. To feed the stray dogs. So we buy dog food, and then we put them in front of our house. So we have this little cups of ito yung newspaper, ano lang eh, use newspaper, and we put the dog food there. So because maraming stray dogs, so we put it there, and then we put yung what do you call that, water, kasi they're also thirsty. So as a recap, the three strengths you can focus on is first, your leadership skills, second, your academic aptitude, and third is your sense of community. You know why? Sa Ateneo wants students who help the community. Ayaw nila yung well, you know, I can't really say that all the students have this attitude, but kasi what I've heard from my friends who went there, they have this immersion program with the poor. In other words, they really live with poor people. They live in the, in the slums and in the barong. So that can be a culture shock for rich people, because these are rich kids who have had no exposure to real poverty. So I don't know really how they do it, because I think that's also quite a shocker to do, especially for 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19, 20-year-old kids who are not exposed to that kind of life. But since you're still entering the university, it would help, as I said, if you have a social angle to your application. So as I said, in my case, it's more of um, advocating for taking care of stray dogs and stray cats, being in contact with organizations like PAWS. Because one of my friends, best friends, Cha, she's connected with a shelter for stray dogs. So so every time we need to refer a stray dog, we refer it to her. And usually the help they do is in the community they spay, they neuter the dogs and the cats. Kasi nga to prevent them from breeding and then having more cats and more cats dying. So I think those are one of the early steps that we have undertaken to make sure that the population of the cats is controlled, and then no more cats dying, no more cats are killed. So it's really up to you. What you can do is you take maybe one afternoon off, think about your life and where you want it to head, and then focus on your leadership skills. Kasi ang leadership naman is so broad. It can be leadership within your family, it can be leadership within your organization, it can be leadership within your uh, community organization, it can be leadership in your classroom before. or the responsibilities your parents give you. What if your parents were OFWs? What if they're really, really busy businessmen? So you have to take care of your brothers, your sisters. It doesn't have to be on a grand scale because you're still in high school anyway. So even taking care of your brothers or sisters is a big deal already, and it's a big responsibility considering um, you're helping your parents already in making sure that your home life is good and that your siblings, younger siblings or older siblings or whatever, are doing their academic work. Because you have to remember, as students, your main job actually is to get good grades. That's really your job, and make your parents proud. Um, so that leadership part can be any aspect which you feel um, can make your application stand out. So to recap, you start the essay with an anecdote or something interesting. It can be a joke, it can be something based on a book, something very personal to you, which you feel the reader, kasi maybe a panel of five will read it, they will feel that they should feel connected to you immediately. Kasi pag babasahin nila yan, like, okay, just another one of the essay, they might throw your essay away. Not throw, but put it in the boring bunch. So you have to catch their attention. So when you have their attention already, you focus on the three strengths you have, which is your leadership skills, your academic aptitude, and your social advocacy. And then you talk then of your weakness. Maybe one weakness you have, maybe procrastination, easily distracted, you have depression issues, mental health issues. So we can talk about them and how you're dealing with them. No? Because I mean, just to show that you also have a human side. No? Kasi akala na Superman ka lahat. So, because I think the university also wants to know how you deal with pressure, how you deal with mental health issues, how you deal with adversity. And then you end the essay now by talking about how your course, studying your course, will help the university, will help the country ko, the Philippines. Kasi yung malakas yun sa Ateneo, so help others. Although I have seen it in the graduates, but since the graduates are so bourgeois, no, they're so cookies, that sometimes I cannot connect that how they are able to help the community. But many of them kasi end up as lawyers and as writers. So in their chosen fields, they can really impact on the whole country. So that's how you end the essay. No? Um, this degree course could help me improve the quality of shows, TV shows in the Philippines. Something like that. Medyo suntok sa buwan, medyo ambisyoso, but since you're young, you're supposed to change the world. So it's okay to dream. It's okay to change the world. You know, like I want to invent software like Facebook, social media. Um, so it has to be realistic. It is connected to your course, and it has to be something that could impact maybe not only the Philippines but the whole world if you can. So anyway, with that, I hope I was able to answer your question. And then, if you have any other questions on how to start your essay, or yeah, feel free to write your comments below, and I would gladly return to you through another video. And anyway, the idea here is good luck, and hopefully you do enter the university you want to go. In this case, I am talking about the essay, application essay you may have to write when you apply for the academy. So anyway, I hope you subscribe to my channel, Writer Coach Tony, and please add me in my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram. It's written down. So anyway, take care everyone. Bye.